See, what I've learned is that small-minded people will try to project their smallness onto you to get you to shrink down to their level. And what happens is a lot of people start living beneath their potential because the people talk them out of their promise. Because people have the power to push you or pull you into your destiny. Don't shrink to make other people comfortable. Don't allow people's small perspective of who you were define who you are. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Transform You. I'm your host. My name is Josh, and whether you are listening by Apple Music, Spotify, or you're watching me on YouTube, I'm honored and humbled that you took out the time to listen. So please do me a favor. I need you to share this content with somebody if this conversation has added any value to your life. So y'all, we have been talking about the three people that you need in your life: the mentor, the peer, and the mentee. The mentor is the person that exposes you, that inspires you. The peer is the friend that challenges you, but also inspires you as well. And then the mentee. The mentee keeps you humble. You pour into them. They don't have the ability to pour back into you. It's kind of a one-sided relationship. But before we get into the mentee relationship, I want to go back to this peer group, the person that you're supposed to do life with, your circle, your team, your squad. Why is this so important? This is so critically important because you don't live at the level of your dream. You live at the level of your team. I've been saying that, and I mean that. It's so critically important for you to understand this. Listen, you don't live at the level of your ambitions, your dreams, or your goals. You don't even live at the level of your faith. You live at the level of your decision making. The wrong decision could detour a blessing in your life. So decision making is so important to how you live your life. And one of the biggest decisions you will ever make in your life is the decision you make about the people in your life. There's an old story in the Bible. It's about Joseph. God gave Joseph a dream, and Joseph prematurely told his brothers, and his brothers put him in a pit. Joseph got a dream at the right time, but he told the wrong people about what God promised him. And that decision of telling his brothers detoured his life. Now, God, through his miraculous grace and mercy, was able to send people to escort Joseph to the palace. But I wonder what kind of life Joseph would have lived if Joseph didn't prematurely tell his brother something that would have made him jealous. This decision is so important because you don't choose your mom and dad, but you do choose the people you do life with. Listen to this. You can't choose the family that you were born into, but you can choose the people that will next level you. And this is the thing about the next level. The next level is an assignment. The next level is not more money. The next level is not more cars. The next level is not so you can flex. The next level is God sent. You are sent to the next level. It is a divine assignment. And so, because it's a divine assignment, you have to make sure you have divine alignment. So who you are connected to, who you are threaded to, who you are knitted to, who you are doing life with is extremely important. You have to choose these people right. And so I just want to talk to you about today, the people you do life with, because that's what we talked in the last episode. If you didn't see that, please go back and check it out, because there were some gems in there that I can't bring up today, but if you watch this and that episode, it all makes sense. So I was talking to my coach the other day, and he said something really profound. He said to me, listen to this, come close, hear me. He said, the right vision with the wrong people is irrelevant. This statement is where I kind of got this whole podcast episode from, because you can have the right vision, but if you are connected to valley people, they'll never see on top of the mountain because they weren't created to see that far. In other words, what he was saying was, when you have a vision that is God-given, God leaves the vision at the mercy of the person. So if the person does not make the right decision to surround themselves with the right people, people will talk you out of what God tried to talk you into. This is why the table you sit at tells me the appetite you have. When you have a God dream, you have to have a God team. They have to be divinely sent to you, lest they will try to talk you out of what God is trying to talk you into. Y'all missing me. This is why you got to get some backbone. You got to get some dog up in you. You got to get serious about you. Because when you get serious about you, you'll get serious about the people that surround you. See, what I've learned is that small-minded people will try to project their smallness onto you to get you to shrink down to their level. And what happens is a lot of people start living beneath their potential because the people talk them out of their promise. You missing me? Now you're doing what they want you to do. You depend more on their voice than the voice of God in your life, because people have the power to push you or pull you into your destiny. Don't shrink to make other people comfortable. Don't allow people's small perspective of who you were define who you are. They knew you, but they don't know you. And when they don't know you, they will create narratives based on the person you used to be to relieve their insecurity. This is the big question. Do the people in your life live on the same frequency? I went to the orchestra some time ago, and the dope thing is that there are many different sections. You got brass, you got woodwinds, you got percussion, etc. And you got one conductor leading the entire orchestra. And the best thing is when they all play in harmony. And the key to playing in harmony is listening. Each instrument must listen intently to others, adjusting their volume and their tempo as needed to blend seamlessly together. So you got listening, you got adjustment, you got pace, rhythm, and you got this word I like to coin as interdependence. This is what you need to learn. Listening requires the use of the brain to interpret the message correctly. So if they don't have the ability to listen, it's because they don't have the capacity to listen. Stop communicating with people who can hear but can't listen. We're not even on the same frequency because you can't listen to me. Number two is this: tempo. They must adjust the tempo to make sure that the blend is right. The frequency isn't right because we're not on the same pace, we're not on the same rhythm, we're not on the same vibe. When I say left, you say right. When I say up, you say down. When I say I'm outside, you say you inside. When I say I'm inside, you say you outside. We can't never get on the same page because we're not on the same frequency. But lastly is this: there's interdependence. Interdependence goes beyond partnership. Interdependence means I'm depending on you as if I need your vision to help my vision. Interdependence means I need your strength. Interdependence is literally iron sharpening iron. Before I continue, let me just pause real quick because all of the power just went out and I had to literally reboot everything. Cameras went down, lights went down, audio went down. So I just had to reboot. So I really don't even know what I was talking about, but I have my notes in front of me. And so I want to go back to listening versus hearing, because we were talking about the orchestra and how each section of the orchestra has to be able to listen, not just hear, but actively listen so that they can make adjustments while they're playing. Okay. So what is the difference between listening and hearing? Everybody can hear, but not everybody can listen. Hearing does not require attention. See, hearing is a passive psychological process of perceiving sound to the ear without necessarily paying attention to the meaning or to the context. So somebody can hear you and not feel you. But listening is an active, intentional process that involves not only hearing sounds, but interpreting, understanding, and responding to them in the right way. Can I unpack this just a little bit more? The next step of listening is active listening. And active listening, y'all, is a communication technique that involves fully concentrating, understanding, and responding and remembering what is being said, it requires the listener to be fully present in the moment so that what the speaker is saying does not slip past what the listener hears. The goal of active listening is to make sure the speaker feels heard and valued. Let me help you. If the person you are communicating says they value you, but they don't listen to you, they don't even believe what they say. My mama told it to me like this: actions speak louder than words. And one of the biggest signs that you know somebody is really listening to you is changed behavior. Not behavior modification, but changed behavior. A full metamorphic change, transformation. That's how we know you are listening to us. And let me be clear, and this should be our expectation in relationships, because when you have matured to this point, you know, and I'm gonna say it really clearly for you, I expect active listening in the relationships that I have because I actively listen to the people that are in my life. So all I'm really asking for is for you to reciprocate the actions that I give you. I'm looking for people who are reciprocal in the relationship. I'm looking for people who practice reciprocity in the relationship. Okay, let me get off this. Active listening is like a well-tuned orchestra. Each instrument harmonizes perfectly to create a cohesive and meaningful experience for both the musician and the audience. Let me break that down. One musician is a speaker, and another musician is like a listener. And so if the other musician is not listening to the orchestra around them, they will not be able to make adjustments that come with live performance. Because you do know there are some things that are not on the script, that are not on the paper, that are not on the sheet music, that you got to be able to make adjustments, which leads me to my next point. Are the people in your life able to make adjustments? Wait a minute, let's deal with you first. Are you able to make an adjustment? Because if you are not able to adjust, you should not require people to adjust to you if you are not willing to make adjustments first. So if you can't take constructive criticism, why do you need to give constructive criticism? If you can't extend the olive branch, why do you expect people to extend the olive branch to you? If you hold grudges, if you are unforgiving, if you are et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, why do we expect for people to be to us what we have not shown ourselves to be to them? So you have to be able to make an adjustment. You know, the Titanic crashed for many reasons. There's many conspiracy theories on it. But what I want to suggest is maybe the Titanic hit the iceberg because it was so big, it was not able to adjust quick enough. Maybe the reason why you can't get to what you want to get to in life is because your ego is so big, you can't make the adjustment quick enough. So one of the keys to growth in your life is being able to make adjustments quickly. You got me? I got to move on to this. I got to move on. But this is the last thing. In the orchestra, there is an interdependency happening to create harmony. What is interdependence? Interdependence in friendship involves mutual reliance and support, fostering a balanced and deep connection. And if you want to foster deep and healthy relationships in your life, you got to get to interdependence. Interdependence is a seed in a relationship that allows the relationship to grow. There are seeds of trust, there are seeds of love, there are seeds of communication, there are seeds of transparency. These are the seeds that grow in the relationship that help the relationship grow deep roots so it can grow higher. Let me just be really transparent. Me and my wife just celebrated 7 years of marriage, and we just recently had a conversation that changed the entire paradigm of our marriage. And the conversation was, I feel like I hope she doesn't kill me, but I'm only telling y'all this because I'm really trying to help y'all. Because I think sometimes when we look at relationships from the outside looking in, it looks perfect. But marriage is hard, but it's worth it if you find the right one, right? But one of the conversations that we were having inside of a bigger conversation is this whole notion of, are you leaning away from me or are you leaning towards me? Are you leaning in or are you pulling back? And most times the pulling back, it's seen physically, but it happens emotionally first. You get what I'm saying? Like it is seen physically, but what you're seeing is just a manifestation of what has already happened emotionally. And so we made a challenge to ourselves that we are not going to lean away from each other or pull back from each other, but we are going to lean into each other. And that's what interdependence looks like. It looks like giving even when your partner can't give back to you. It's so easy to lean away. It's so easy to pull back. It is so easy to do that. But when you have a mutual respect, love, and there's appreciation for the person that you're with, you become selfless. And you say, in this season of our marriage, in this season of our dating, in this season of our relationship, I know you can't give me 100. I know you can't give me everything I want, but my responsibility in the relationship, in a healthy relationship, let me be very clear, is to make up the difference. It's to cover the spread, right? And so this is why, I'm going off on a tangent. This is why I'm making sure that you're filling your cup, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So you got to make sure that your cup is constantly filled, because you will run into relationships, whether they're romantic or your peer group or your homeboy, your homegirl, your friends, whatever the case may be, where they can't give as much to you as you're giving to them. But when they're just getting your overflow, it's not hurting you anyway. So that's just the way that I feel about interdependence. And that's actually how I feel about, doing life with people. Are you able to listen? Are you able to adjust? Is there interdependence? Are you catching my vibe? Are you catching the frequency? Are you catching the tone? I was listening to I was watching something on TikTok the other day. It was really good. And the conversation was about, why do people yell at each other when they're so close to each other? And the person said, they're yelling because physically they're close, but emotionally they're really far apart. So they're yelling because you so far from me. Emotionally, I feel like I got to yell at the top of my lungs. But when there's real interdependence and there's a real connection and there's real harmony in the relationship, you and somebody that you're really close to can be on the other side of the room and just do like this. And like, I don't know. Just a little head nod. And it's the loudest thing in the room. Because when there's interdependence, there is such a unique connection. And I just want us to go for unique connections, strong family. Fellas, I want you to have a strong family. Ladies, I want you to have a strong family. Fellas, I want you to have a strong mentality. I want you to be sharp. Ladies, I want you to be sharp. I want you to chase after your dreams, after your goals. But you got to surround yourself with people who are doing the same thing or doing something that you see yourself doing in the future. And so to wrap this up, my prayer for you is that you would find the right people, but use this wisdom that I'm giving you to help nurture and foster relationships in a healthy way so you can have the positive outcomes that you want in your life. All right, before I get out of here, I want to tell you that I have just dropped a devotion. It's called Reimagine, and it's 3 days and it's free. You can get it on my website right now at joshbair.com. That's JOSHHBAIR.com. And you can go get that right now. All you have to do is input your information, your first name, your last name, and your email. The reason why I want you to download this devotion, number one, it's because it's helpful. And number two is next month, I'm going to be hosting a live virtual event. And I need your email to be able to send you the link. So if I don't have your email, my team cannot send you the link. It's going to be a night of inspiration. I'm going to be talking about maximizing your potential so that you can live the life that you've dreamed about. I believe everybody has potential to do something monumental. And so if you want to be a part of this event, download that devotion right now and leave your email. And I look forward to seeing you at this live event. Listen, my name is Josh Bair, and I believe if you can change your thinking, you can change your life. Hope you have a great week. Peace. Love you. Bye.